All round in the open stands there, and this is a Wimbledon. I can't remember when we've had a Wimbledon really as hot as this, with continuous sunshine, and they're going to be pretty hot down there, as no doubt the players will be in a few moments. And as I see the crowd, the youngsters there, I reflect on that being my own place where I stood years ago, and into the Royal Box. The president of the club, their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess. Here is the man who has the honour of umpiring this final, David Mercer from Swansea, a man who is officiating at his 11th Wimbledon, and last year he umpired the men's doubles final in Swansea, but lives in London. All the preparations being made. And as soon as the cameras, of course, all waiting, as soon as they come out of the door there, they'll be met by Alan Mills, the referee, the man who today will bring this championship to a conclusion. Players will be waiting in that little room, so private, just before the championships. And now see the blue light as they come out, which means that royalty are already in the Royal Box. Tremendous excitement for everybody here, of course. Over 14,000 people here, most of them seated. And each year the centre court seems to get larger and larger, and sometimes the call is for a bigger centre court, but I'm not so sure that it would be wise. This is the most intimate and wonderfully designed court. And there is Leo, the club's dressing room attendant, now I think in his 9th year at Wimbledon, who carries out their stuff, and leading Jimmy Connors. And the holder of the title, McEnroe. After the tremendous reception for the players, the usual business of the photographers and their pictures, McEnroe already keen to warm up. Jimmy Connors there, a final drink before they actually start. The man who played so well in the semi-final against Ivan Lendl. A match that many people thought he might lose, so he came through brilliantly, 2 sets to 1. Not much privacy down there, is there? Cameras, sound receivers. But they are used to this, these men. And what a scorching day for them. Okay. 88 degrees in the shade, so it must be pretty hot out there in the sun.
Do the photographs and then I'll do the toss when you're both together.
So David Mercer waiting to spin the coin. The old traditional spinning of the racket, rough and smooth, has gone by the board.
Okay, David, do the toss now.
Connors, do you like to call heads or tails? Heads it is. You'll receive.
Connors wins the toss and has decided to receive. And that is always interesting because he feels it gives him a chance of breaking the serve. So, all the formalities over. John McEnroe, the holder and the official world champion, born in Wiesbaden in West Germany. His father was stationed there in the US forces. He lives in New York when he's not on tour. 25 years of age. He's playing his 8th successive Wimbledon since 1977. And that, of course, was the centenary year when he created the unique record of winning 3 rounds in the qualifying tournament and 5 rounds of the championships before losing to Connors in the semi-final. He was the champion in 1981 when he beat Borg 3-1, and the champion again last year when he had that very easy final against Chris Lewis, unseeded from New Zealand, McEnroe winning it 6-2, 6-2, 6-2. Being the runner-up twice to Borg in 1980 when he lost 6-8 in the final set, the 5th and final set, and in 1982 the runner-up to Connors when he lost 6-4 in the final set. Over to Connors. Jimmy Connors, 31 years of age, seeded 3 and 3 on the world computer. Born at St. Louis, Illinois, and now lives at Miami Beach in Florida. He's playing his 13th Wimbledon. Some people think it's his 14th. In fact, we must put this right, it's his 13th. He entered in 1971, but didn't in fact play. He was the champion in 1974 when he beat Rosewall in the most astonishing display of controlled power that I remember, that I can hardly forget. One remembers it as a devastating display when he won 6-1, 6-1, 6-4. And then in 1982, he beat McEnroe in the 5th and final set. He'd been runner-up 3 times. In 1975, when he lost to an inspired tactical display by Arthur Ashe, 3-1. In 1977, he lost to Borg in the 5th and final set, and in 1978, he lost again to Borg, but this time rather more easily, 6-2, 6-2, 6-3. Well, now, sitting with me, John Barrett and Mark Cox. John?
Dan, I can't remember experiencing an atmosphere quite like today's in the last decade. I think today it's a real head-to-head clash, a head-on collision between the 2 men who have proved beyond doubt that on grass they are the finest exponents of this game of ours. And the fact that Jimmy won here when they last met in a final 2 years ago will give added spice to the occasion, because on form he shouldn't be able to win today, but then tennis matches aren't played on paper, are they? They're played today on a very, very hot tennis court. It will be well over 100 degrees out there. And Jimmy Connors can survive in the heat as well as anybody, as he proved last September when he beat Ivan Lendl on the hottest day I can ever remember for a major final. It was about 112 to 20, between 112 and 120 degrees on an asphalt surface, which made your feet feel as if you were walking on hot coals. And Jimmy Connors survived, winning with a run of 9 games, a 6-love set in the 4th. So there's no doubt he can play in heat. John McEnroe, well, I'm quite sure he's as fit as he's ever been. He says himself he feels that at 25 he's reached his physical peak. And I'm sure he wants to underline the fact that at the moment he is ahead of his great rival.
1 minute,
He's won
gentlemen.
their last 5
One more
meetings,
minute.
3 of them this year. And the latest time just 3 weeks ago at Queen's Club, Mark Cox, where you saw him play as well as I think you could have expected in the semi-final.
Yes, well, John McEnroe really is in the best year of his career. He's only lost one occasion in this entire year to even Lendl in the final of the French Championships on a surface which really he doesn't like to or doesn't
Ladies and
naturally
gentlemen,
identify
Mr.
with.
Connors
But
won the spin
certainly
and has
we're in
chosen
for
to receive
a tremendous
service.
match. But I have to say that one must favour, I think, particularly in the hot conditions here, John McEnroe. Jimmy Connors is going to have to work very, very hard on his serve, and I personally feel that the heat may take its toll.
Well,
Time.
even for the most experienced players, their nerves must be jingling a bit. All these finals and all the great matches they've played, nevertheless, they're human beings, and this is the severest examination in tennis in the centre court at Wimbledon. And just perhaps just a reminder that in their matches through the years, it's Jimmy Connors who has tended to have the better of the really long matches, giving 6 years away to McEnroe, Connors. Now the court is bound to be playing as fast, if not faster, than yesterday because of all the play, and today, being hotter than yesterday, the balls are going to fly a little bit. And so once again, I think we must be looking for the break of the service, where the balls are getting old.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. McEnroe to serve. First set. Play. Yeah. 15 love. Quiet, please. Love.
No.
40 love. Game McEnroe. First game.
Love one.
$15 love. 15 all. Fifteen 30. Ah! 15-40.
So two successive returns of service of the highest class by McEnroe.
Game, McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 2 games to love. First set.
He's dropped only 1 point in the 2 games. Marvellous returning of the service.
Quiet, please. First service. Fifteen love. All.
It's more like the Connors return, right in the middle of the racket, that one. Once again, we see the quality of McEnroe behind the service, a ball well below the height of the net, and he gets a winner first time off it. 30-15.
Game, McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 3 games to love in the first set.
Well, John McEnroe has set such a hot pace, hasn't he? A couple of aces already and some really penetrating volleys. There was one there at 15 all in the last game. The serve very, very deep, and the return had to be fairly high, which enabled him to punch that volley, and see how it speeds away off this very, very fast surface. Love 3.
First service. Love. 30 love.
McEnroe certainly let Connors off there. He had a chance.
(30-15).
Come on, Jimmy!
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. (40-15).
Good shot.
And that's what Jimmy Connors will be looking for, the opportunity on his terms to make his passes. The approach there wasn't deep enough. McEnroe was bluffing his way to the net, trying to unsettle Connors, but my goodness, he's been given warning of what might happen if he approaches on anything less than a perfect shot. 3-1.
Miss.
And a further warning, my word.
15.
Onto the two-hander there, controlled quite perfectly, despite the fact that he was off balance. It's going to become a problem where to serve if he continues with that. Love 15.
(15-all). (30-15).
Well, he's hit 2 or 3 miss hits already in Mets. The court really is playing very fast, and there's no question the heat has made the balls very lively. And that was rather a heavily sliced serve from McEnroe. No.
(30-all).
Connors certainly finding the timing and range on that return. Brilliant return, that.
Miss!
(40-30). Game, McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 4 games to 1.
At 1-4.
15 love. (15 all).
McEnroe certainly threatening the second service there. He moved, quite a bit forward.
Thirty 15.
And here was a touch of genius from McEnroe, choosing to lob at the critical moment when Connors saw his chance to advance to the net. And this was the shot that destroyed him, because he had a very easy kill off a hurried lob in reply from Connors. 30 all.
Thirty 40.
Connors hardly recovered from his serve before he found the ball had returned almost to his feet on the baseline. Break point.
Deuce.
So, 1-4, deuce, first set.
Advantage McEnroe. Game McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 5 games to 1. First set.
After a little uncertain play on the Connors forehand.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Serving in for the first set, McEnroe.
Love. First service. Love. Love.
And that swinging, slicing service breaking into the body of Connors gives McEnroe 3 set points. Yes.
.40-15.
Lovely rolled pass Well done, lovely return.
40-30.
It's still a set point.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Game first set, McEnroe. By 6-1. New balls, please.
So that's the way to finish off a set with your third ace.
Second set.
Love 15.
Now Connors has got the new balls, and he really must make use of them.
First service. Love 30. $15-30.
Best rally of the match so far. $15-30.
$15-40. $30-40.
Good effort by McEnroe, but a very, very nice bit of improvisation by the server. He had a very difficult lob. He couldn't smash it in the orthodox way, throwing the racket ahead of the ball. He hit it like a bowler at cricket, a round-arm shot. It was great play by Connors. Beautiful return.
McEnroe. First game, second set. McEnroe leads by 1-0.
Absolutely magnificent point. A very good deep serve, which he hurries to make a reply on. And Connors can't do much with the first volley. Now, how McEnroe even reached that ball, let alone made
Time.
a good lob on it, is difficult to imagine. And by my goodness, he nearly made the pass. The same point from Connors' point of view. He follows his serve in, balances beautifully, checks and punches that volley right through the path of the ball, punches another one, and now here comes the chase across and the lob, which he has to hurry for. He can't get it away and actually is now beaten by the passing shot, but it's long. With a break, McEnroe 1-love.
15 love.
Yes.
And when he does read it right, as he did here, the ball is back so fast off that metal racket which fires the ball like a rocket. It really is quite remarkable. 15 all.
Foot fault called. Foot fault on McEnroe. Not often you see that, but so eager to get into the net, just fouling the line, standing on the line.
(15-30).
Well, Connors taking advantage of perhaps a little distraction on the part of his opponent there with the foot fault call. Didn't play the half volley down at his feet quite in the same class as he usually does, but a fine pass by Connors.
(30 all).
All.
(40-30).
And Connors trying to get the ball on the two-handed backhand, a little slow moving round there.
Game, McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 2 games to love. Second set.
And it's a long time since I've seen Connors really finding the McEnroe serve so difficult.
Love 15. Love 30.
And the second service treated with absolute contempt there by McEnroe.
(15-30). First service. 15-40.
This is really tremendous returning of the service and everything resulting from a good return that McEnroe is producing today. 15-40, 2 break points.
Thirty 40.
Well done. So the good deep service from Connors there, forcing a high return from McEnroe, and dispatched very nicely with the forehand volley. 15-40 to deuce.
Advantage McEnroe.
Well, that's a remarkable recovery, but how hard for Connors, who thought he'd hit a winning volley there.
Wide, please.
Fine service.
Deuce.
He's testing the server where to serve to the receiver. Oh, so that's a bit hard.
Advantage McEnroe.
So McEnroe gets a 4th break point here with a lovely half volley under pressure, but a bit of good fortune with the net cord.
Game McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 3 games to love in the second set.
15-30. I beg your pardon, it was deuce at the time. Jimmy Connors plays a beautiful volley, but the control on the racket face there of John McEnroe
Time.
is quite remarkable. Off balance, reaching wide. Here's the same point from McEnroe's point of view. He had to hurry to the return. Now he sees that the volley's going across, and he dashes across, and that, at full stretch, almost falling over, with very slack stringing in that racket, he holds the ball just enough on the racket face to get the control he needs. We are really seeing a vintage performance from the world champion today. 6-1, 3-love.
15 love. Love. Love.
Fifth ace. Ball, I think, caught the chalk and threw it up rather higher than normal.
Game
It's number 6.
McEnroe leads by 4 games to love. Second set.
Well, just before Wimbledon started, McEnroe was having a little trouble with his service, and he lost the feel of it in the middle of the French Championships when he lost to Lendl. But my goodness, he's found it today. He really has.
$15 love. Second service. $15 all.
Well played.
Well, Jimmy Connors at his most dangerous when everybody thinks he has no chance, and in this rally he seemed to have little chance, and yet he read it right quite beautifully. $30-15.
40-15.
Good volley.
McEnroe leads by 4 games to 1. Second set, and by 1 set to love.
And Jimmy Connors there showing us how good a volleyer he is when he gets a reasonable service return to deal with 2 lovely low volleys. So he's broken the ice. 1-4.
And there it is. Beautiful return of serve, taking all the pace off the ball, and the punched volley. Even the scurrying McEnroe can't get there in time. This court is playing so fast today. 4-1.
$15 love.
Well, what can you say? He was out of the point altogether due to that excellent return of Connors. He has the whole court, plays it a little bit too carefully. McEnroe guessed right. Of course, if he'd gone down the line, he'd have been dead. But hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? 30 love.
40 love.
And not only the backhand volley so well placed, but heavily sliced too, and the ball didn't get up more than about 8 inches.
$40-15.
Well, the return of serve here is good
40-30.
enough to get a slight stumble from McEnroe as he tries to recover position, and it was that partly which led him to fail to read the passing shot of Connors. 40-30.
Game McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 5 games to 1. First set.
And
Second
McEnroe's
set.
service coming to his aid there, where he looked as though he might be caught, having had a 40-love lead. So it's Connors serving to stay in the second set. 1-5.
Love 15.
Well, you can't take the ball much earlier than that on the return of service, nor play it so more accurately than that. O'Connor's really having a rough time here.
Ah! 15 all. And
I don't think Rod Laver was ever more devastating against bad-length second services than McEnroe is today. Really pouncing on them. 15-30.
$15-40.
2 set points for 2 sets to love lead for McEnroe.
Game, second set, McEnroe. Second set to McEnroe by 6 games to 1. McEnroe leads by 2 sets to love.
Jimmy Connors will never give in. He'll be just waiting for a little crack in the armour of John McEnroe. Can he find it?
Love.
Ace on the second service. tried, well tried.
40 love. Game McEnroe. First game, third set. McEnroe leads by 2 sets to love.
Love one.
Love 15. $15 all.
Just really keep on trying to get this first service in, Connors. Clapping crowd didn't hear the call of fault. It was quite definitely a fault. Both players knew it was fault.
$30-15. First service. Let. First service. $40-15. $40-30.
Connors perhaps pressing a bit. This man is so good against him today that he's having to go for the lines, not just inside them.
First service.
Well played indeed.
And Jimmy Connors is such a terrier, isn't he? A real street fighter. He loves a scrap. And how he's hanging on here.
Third set.
Tremendous game for him. Very, very important psychologically that he should hold his serve there. He must dig himself into this set and let John McEnroe know that he has a fight on his hands at the moment. He's been absolutely awesome, and he hasn't really had to struggle. New balls, 1-all.
15 love. All. $30-15. $40-15.
Well, I've watched McEnroe play a great many of his matches, and I thought I was fairly familiar with his angles of serving, but not today.
Game McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 2-1 in the third set.
1-2.
$15 love. $15 all.
When that lob was called out, John McEnroe looked up at his pal Peter Rennert in the box to get confirmation of whether that was a good call or not, and Peter nodded. It was out.
15 all.
$30-15.
Absolutely perfect length. McEnroe, I feel, thought it might have been out. Actually mistimed the late half volley. And so clean a winner was that McEnroe didn't even attempt to retrieve that one.
$40-30. Deuce.
Well, he had a chance there. Ball was just a little below the height of the net. Not the sort of ball that normally Connors would miss.
Advantage, Connors. Game, Connors. Two games all in the third set.
Well, rather unusual that Connors should win that game. Out of the 8 points played, he only got one first serve in.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Love.
That's a brilliant service. That's McEnroe's 8th ace. And that was absolutely lovely. A swerving serve starting outside the centre line and swerving just into the line. Or just inside the line, in fact.
Love. Game, McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 3 games to 2 in the third set, and by 2 sets to love.
2-3.
Love 15.
Well, McEnroe really is mystifying us here. We simply cannot judge where he's going to put the ball. That was the most wonderfully disguised love you'll ever see.
All.
The service with a little more penetration then.
Well, there are very few players
15,
alive
30.
who can time the return of serve on the rise like that and hit it with just a little nudge, hardly any backswing, but the weight going forward, the racket going forward through the ball, all that's necessary. Great economy.
30 all.
So 2-3, 30 all.
Well, that
was a rather nice piece of judgment.
Deuce. Advantage, McEnroe.
McEnroe rather rubbing it in after Connor's fourth double fault when he had game point.
Game, McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 4 games to 2. Third set. Quiet now, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let the players play, please. Thank you.
He's only won 1 point against the services of McEnroe in this third set. Fault called. Both players a little doubtful about the call. No protest. 1 fault. Well played, well played.
Love 15.
Well, that was magnificent anticipation by Connors, and one of the few times he has had a chance to anticipate at all, it seems to me. But he anticipated that absolutely perfectly. The McEnroe smash off the bounce. Love 15.
All.
Talking about anticipation, how about that, McEnroe?
Thirty 15. This
really is murderous serving. Absolutely unbelievable that he can maintain this service power and service accuracy.
Game, McEnroe. McEnroe leads by 5 games to 2 in the third set and by 2 sets to love.
But I must say, he faces a monumental task at 2-5.
Love 15.
Well, a miss hit from McEnroe on the return of service there.
Love 30.
And the 5th double fault.
Quiet now, please. Thank you. Love 40.
So 3 championship points for the holder of the title, McEnroe.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, quiet. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it.
McEnroe wins 3 sets to love, 6-1, 6-1, 6-2.
Well, that was a remarkable performance. No other word for it. And it confirms what I've been feeling for some time, that we really are watching the best player in the world that I've certainly seen in my years of tennis. But the crowd here, they probably would have loved a 5-setter, as perhaps we all would. Always feel a 5-setter is the right thing for a Wimbledon final. But what they've seen instead was the greatest display of tennis on this court by any man that I've...
Championship point, John McEnroe. It's fitting in a day where he was nearly perfect in his play that he should beat Connors. A love game on Connors' serve. 3rd time, John McEnroe at age 25, champion of Wimbledon. 6-1, 6-1, 6-2. He broke Connors' serve 7 times. There he is, live, breakfast at Wimbledon. And the main dish, Duke and Duchess of Kent make their approach onto center court for the championship trophy presentation. That we have more live action for you. The mixed doubles will feature John Lloyd and Wendy Turnbull, the defending champions, against the American team of Steve Denton and Kathy Jordan. Thus far, it has been an all-American Wimbledon. Navratilova, the singles winner, McEnroe today. Navratilova and Shriver the doubles, McEnroe and Fleming the doubles. So Lloyd and Turnbull will endeavor to deny the sweep. Well, it is exciting, isn't it, when a great player saves perhaps his very best for such an important championship. And in the mind of John McEnroe, he must be saying, I have played the game that I've been looking for 25 years. How can you be better than that?
So for the third time, McEnroe hoists the cup in the air. And a tremendous hand for Jimmy Connors. Jimmy Connors, twice the championship title holder, and today taking the silver medal, the replica, for the runner-up. The umpire who took the match so well, David Mercer, at his 11th Wimbledon, receiving royal congratulations.
Slight break in tradition this year, the use of the public address system to announce the chair umpire, and the tournament referee Alan Mills undoubtedly will be introduced as well. In the past there were no such announcements. You either knew the people involved in the ceremony.
The championship's referee, Mr. Alan Mills.
Well, Alan Mills, many thought he would have a busy championship with all the free Wimbledon publicity about John McEnroe, and would there be a thought that his behavior would cause a disqualification? Goodness, did he answer. Jimmy Connors, it's toughest of all to do the best you can and be so well beaten. Hawkeyes of Connors. Such a
Ladies
great
and gentlemen,
competitor.
His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, President of the All England Club, will now make a special presentation to Commander Charles Lane, who for the past 18 years has trained so devotedly the ball boys and girls at the championships, and who is now retiring from his duties. Commander Lane.
These young boys and girls who are so superb in their contribution to these championships, and there's the reason why. Charles Lane, the commander, and these young pupils of his go to school. How to kneel, everything, how to roll the ball, the proper court etiquette, and the players commenting on how outstanding that they are in assisting them in the course of play. 18 years Charles Lane has made that contribution to this championship, and this is always special. The little time taken by the president of the All England Club, Duke of Kent, and the Duchess of Kent to share their good wishes to the principals here at Wimbledon. John McEnroe at the start of this year said he had 3 goals, and apparently he has met them all. The first was he wanted to be thought of as an athlete, not a celebrity. That was a great athlete performing on this green stage today. Second, he said, I want to improve my game in general, be better all around, and stay healthy. That he has accomplished. And maybe the most important is the third. I want to improve my court behavior. He said, I planned that for quite a few years, but doggone it, sometimes I don't behave. And he did not at Paris in the French Open. And he did not at the Queen's Club Championship prior to this one. But they call it the Gentleman's Trophy. And a gentleman won it in this championship. John McEnroe was all of that. And maybe that's the start of a new McEnroe. I, for one, would applaud that. You enjoyed him and you liked him in this championship. Jimmy Connors gave him the fight the best he could. But it's kind of tough to swallow when you see only 4 games up on the scoreboard under your name. A reminder again, Charlie Jones, Stan Smith will have live for you the mixed doubles championship. Turnbull of Australia, Lloyd of England against the American team of Steve Denton and Kathy Jordan. Well, most certainly at 25, that's the man we'll be talking about again next year, John McEnroe. As McEnroe, a rare victory lap, sharing that trophy in this championship with all. And with so much ahead for John McEnroe, how many more times will we see J.P. McEnroe on that trophy? May indeed be the all-time American player in this championship. Unlike the McEnroe we saw in France, who was exhausted, as was the winner Yvonne Lendl, who refused to make any announcement to the fans at Roland Garros Stadium, but a very convivial sharing champion at Wimbledon today. Bud Collins is standing by, and as the players make their exit, we'll have a chance to get their remarks. You know, McEnroe's not talked to television prior to today. They're on their way to Bud Collins.
And they'll be coming around the corner. John, could you wait just a minute while we talk to Jimmy? Jimmy, may I have a word? And Jimmy doesn't want to speak. You seemed in a great hurry. Congratulations, champion.
Well, after the French, I didn't want to. I was up 2 sets there, and I was playing really well, so I just wanted to... I mean, it's one of the greatest matches I've ever played. I felt like I was serving really well. I must have served at least 70. It felt like 70, 75% first serves, and
That's right.
I was just hitting the ball really solid, and he seemed about a half a step slow in his shots, and I was just really taking advantage of it, and I got a few breaks on leg cords and just played like probably the best match I've ever played.
You realize that you made a grand total of 2 unforced errors?
I didn't know that. I'm glad to hear that finally I've gone into a match and played real solid. I got a few bad bounces on a couple backhand returns. I felt like I was going to hit pretty well, but I didn't miss. I obviously must not have missed too many easy shots.
Let's go back to Paris for a moment. What did that defeat do to you from 2 sets down?
Well, I got a little tired there in like the 4th set, and I still had a chance at 4-2 in the 4th set, but he hung in there pretty good in that match, and I choked that a little bit, so I just didn't want the same thing to happen here.
Choked.
Yeah, just I had a chance to wrap it up and wasn't able to, but today I played really consistently well from the start, and I felt real good out there and real relaxed, and I wasn't letting anything bother me, and I think it helped me a lot.
John McEnroe, you have not said boo during this tournament.
Well, it's, I said I was going to let my tennis do the talking, and that's what I did.
Does that help your tennis? Does that improve your tennis to avoid the hassles?
Well, I think it put me in a little bit more relaxed frame of mind. It's what I decided to do, and so therefore I didn't worry about it that much, which was good. And it doesn't help in the long run to get involved in the controversy, so I'm just glad that I was able to stay away from it. And if I could, I'd like to say hello to my mother right now, and I hope she's doing all right, and this one's for you.
I suspect she enjoyed that.
I hope she did.
What's the future for John McEnroe? Do you know? Can you tell? Will we see more outbursts? Can you read the future for John McEnroe?
I can't read it. I just hope I get better as a player, and that I improve upon certain things, and that's what playing sports is all about, to try to reach your potential, and I hope that I can just get better and better the next couple of years, and if not, I'm going to give it a hell of a try.
Well, look at this face, because it's a true world champion, John Patrick McEnroe Jr. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And we return to Dick Enberg.
All right, Bud, thank you. That's the first interview that John McEnroe has conducted for television camera in 2 weeks, and it was nice to hear the things he said. He's obviously improved, and even at that, he remembered a couple of points he could have played even better. The perfectionist in the man shown in his post-championship comments. First serve percentage, he was right on 75% of them in. And when McEnroe serves that way, who can possibly give him a solid match? Certainly it was not Jimmy Connors today. John McEnroe in select company. Don Budge, Bill Tilden, John McEnroe. Champion of Wimbledon 1984. Back after these words from your local station.